Hello guys, welcome to the complete course on reading and writing in Excel files using Java. In this video, we are going to learn how we can read and write data to and from an Excel file using Java. As JDK does not provide a direct API to read and write files, so we are going to use a third-party library that is Apache POI. To use this library, we need to add the jars in our workspace. Now, how to add those, I will cover it in the coming sections. However, I have provided the link to download the jar in the description below. Okay, now as you can see, Apache POI provides two implementations, HSSF and XSSF. Okay, now let's dive deep in what is there in these implementations. First, we are going to see the classes present for XLS files. There are four classes which we will be using for reading and writing XLS files. And we use HSSF implementation for this. The first one is HSSF workbook. It is a class representation of XLS files. So whatever Excel file which we have prepared, that is a workbook. And inside that workbook, there can be multiple sheets. So that sheet's manipulation is done through HSSF sheet. It is a class representing the sheet in an XLS files. Okay. Next is HSSF row. It is a class representation of a row in the sheet of XLS files. Okay. Now inside every sheet there will be rows, and inside every rows there will be cells. Okay. So it's in a hierarchy. First is workbook, then is sheet, then row, and then cell. So for accessing the cells, we use HSSF cell. Okay. So don't worry, we are going to see everything through code. First, let's have the overview, how to parse and what are the classes available and what are the functions available in these classes. We will see in the coding part. Okay. Next, go to the next section, that is XSSF implementations. So in the previous slide, we saw XLS and we use HSSF for that. For XLSX, we are going to use XSSF workbook. Okay. So every implementation remains same. Only the class will be changed. In place of H, we will write X. That is XSSF workbook, sheet, row, and cell. And the implementations also remains the same. And the functionality, what each classes does, remains the same. Okay. Let's not spend much time here. We will go to the Java coding part and we will see everything very closely. Before we start with the coding part, first we need to download the jars. This is the official website to download the jar. I will provide the link in the description box. You can hit on that link and download the jars. So here is the jar which we need. I will click on it and I will click on the mirror side so that I can download it. Since I have already downloaded it, I will cancel it and I will directly go to the location. This is the location where I have downloaded the jar. I need to just extract it. As I have already extracted it, I am not doing it again. This is the folder which will be created and these are the jars present. Okay. I have also created two files for reading. First one is XLS and the second one is XLSX. So I will show you the content inside these. So this is the file. I'll show how to iterate and print the values inside it. The next one is XLSX file. It has the same content, just the extension is different. Okay, so let's go to the Eclipse and start adding the jars and then start coding. First, let's see how to add the jar. I have already created a project. If you are not sure how to create the projects, you can hit on the I button above and see how to create the projects. So to add the jar, I need to go to build path then configure build path. In the libraries section, you need to do add external jars. So you need to go to the location where you have downloaded the jars and extracted it. You need to select all the jars and click on open. So apart from this, you need to add other jars as well, which is present in the jar file which we have downloaded. So these files also I'll be adding it. Next, in the lib file also there are few jars. I will add these as well. In auxiliary file folder, there is other jars which we don't need in this course, but still we will add it. We'll do apply and close. Now the jars have been added. Now I'll show you the directory. Inside src, I have created a package and there are 4 files inside it. Okay, first we will see how to read the XLS file. So we have already seen the XLS file which we have created and we are going to read that. So here is the sample program which I have already created for you all. See this, in this line we are reading the file from the location. This was the location where we have placed the file and this is the file name. Now I am creating a HSSF workbook for this file. Why we are creating HSSF workbook? We have already seen that for XLS we need to use HSSF workbook. Okay. After the workbook is being created, we are trying to get the sheet and we have passed a parameter in get sheet at as 0 because we need to get the first sheet. We need to be careful here. First sheet starting with 0th index and the second sheet will be at 1. Okay, we can also get the sheet by the names. Here I am getting it with the index. Okay, after getting the sheet, I am iterating here for each row in that sheet. In that sheet, whatever row is there, I am iterating it, and then for each row, I am iterating all over the cells for that row. Okay, is it clear? See guys, here for each row in the sheet I am iterating with a for each loop, and here for each cell in the row I am iterating it. Okay, so after we get the cells, there are different kind of value which can be there in the cell. Suppose it is a string, then we need to get the type of the cell and we need to compare it whether it is a string or not. Why we need to compare it? Because to get the values from that cell, we have multiple functions. See this, if it is a string, we will use cell dot get string cell value. Okay, and if it is a number, then we will use cell dot get numeric cell value. Okay, there are other functions also available. I will show you. Let me do it here. Cell dot get cell. See this, we have string cell value, rich string cell value, numeric cell, local date time cell value. So these are the different functions which are available, which we can use according to our requirement. For now, we don't need that, so we haven't used it. We have only strings and numeric types. Okay. Now let's run the program and see what is happening. See this, all the values are printed. We had name, roll number, date of birth, school, and the grades, and at the end we had percentage. So every value is printed. Okay. Now for parsing the same file or reading the same file through XLSX, we don't need to do anything. We just need to change the workbooks and the sheet, the classes which we are using for these. Okay. The only change will be in place of h, we need to write x. I'll show you. I'll go to XLSX read. So see this, the program remains the same and just the workbooks and the sheets are changed. Else everything is same. I will show you the output for this also. Let's debug this. Okay, let's debug this and see what is happening. Let me switch to perspective. Now see this. We have got the sheet. Now we are going to iterate for each row. See this, I will go inside this, and inside each row we are going to iterate for each cell. Okay. Now see this. In first we had name, it has printed. Then in the next cell in that row we have the name. Okay, John Carter. It will print that. In the same row after that cell we have roll number, so it has printed the roll. Okay, next is a numeric value because it was a number. Okay, so it will match this numeric type and it will print the numeric cell value. Okay, you are getting this. Now it came to the outer loop. Why? Because the cells have ended. It will not iterate throughout the workbook. It will detect at which is the last cell in which we are having the value. Until that cell only it will iterate. Next it will go to the next row. And then again for each cell it will iterate. Okay, now for the rows as well, it will not go like if we have 1,000 rows in that sheet, it will not go for 1,000. Even if we are able to view those 1,000 rows, those 1,000 rows doesn't contain value, so if we iterate it will be unnecessary. Okay, so if we run it through this for each loop, it will not run for those 1,000 rows. It will only run till the last row it is having value. Okay, now see this. Let me print all the values. Okay, okay. So we have reached, I think, the last science history. This is the percentage. So this was the last row in our file. Okay, no more cells, no more rows, and it has came out. Okay, now I request you all to create your own sheets or download any sheet which is available in the net, and you can practice on those files. See how to iterate, how to print certain values, and instead of just going through the file, we can also get particular cell and particular row values. Okay, for that I will create another video. You can click on the I button above and you can see that video. Okay.
Now let's see how to write in a Excel file. Let me switch to Java perspective and XLS write. First let's see how to write in XLS file and then we will see for XLSX. Okay. Now see this, here I am trying to open a workbook. Since we have to write, we will not first read the file, we will also create the file. So first we will create a workbook. Inside that workbook we can create sheets, and whatever name we are passing here, it will be the name of the sheet. Okay, now inside sheet we have rows and inside rows we have cells. So for each row we need to create the rows and then the cells. So first in the cell 0, in row 0, cell 0, I am putting the value as name, and in row 0, cell 1, I am putting the value as John. And at the end, I am saving the file with the name example.xlsx. So now let's run this program and see. So the program is terminated. Let's refresh this project and see if the file is created. Yeah, so the file is created. Now let me open this. I'll go to the directory and I will open it. So here is the file. So we can see in row 0, cell 0 and cell 1 the value has been placed. Okay, this was for XLS. Similarly for XLSX it is the same, just we need to put XSSF. Now see this, this is the file. Now here we are creating the workbook with XSSF, and rest the code will be same. Okay, and only we need to take care that we save it with XLSX extension. Okay, now let me run this program. Okay, now the program is terminated. Let me refresh the project, and we have got the XLSX file. Let me go to the directory. So we have the XLSX file here. So similarly as in XLS, we will have in 0th row 0 cell, and first cell the value will be there. Okay, that was all for this session. I hope it had helped you. If it has helped you, do like the video and share with your friends, and thank you for watching.